mistake I often made myself when I was starting out as a coach. When I started out as a coach, I was pretty young, and as I mentioned several times in the past, my self-confidence is naturally very low. Over the years, I was able to improve it slightly, but when I was younger, I was always doubting myself. I always felt the need to prove myself and stuff like that. So it was true for my own training, but it was also true when I was training clients. I felt the need for them to lift big weights so that they would think that I was more competent than I thought I was as a coach, okay? So oftentimes I would use deadlift and have them max out. Now, that was, in retrospect, one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. I actually injured a guy like that. I'm pretty sure that it could have been much worse. Now, the deadlift is a weird animal. The deadlift is a movement that, simply through the power of will, you can actually move heavier weights that you should be using. The back will round, the weight you will start to shake, but the weight will still be able to go up. But it probably allows you to lift weights that you have no business using in training. And by extension, the deadlift is a kind of exercise that you don't need to train it super heavy to benefit from it. I mean, loading properly with 75–80% of your maximum for sets of 3 to 5 reps is enough to reap the benefits from a deadlift. Now, going too heavy on a deadlift with someone who simply wants to look better is probably one of the stupidest things you can do. First of all, it's not needed. Second, it will not help them build more muscle. The time under tension is not enough. You will lead to many compensation, which will not basically hit any muscle except for the spinal erectors hard. So it will not help you build a better physique. Whereas if you're using a lighter weight, focusing on keeping the lats engaged, maintaining perfect position, then you can overload several muscle groups, and then yes, the deadlift can become a very effective exercise at improving body composition. It will build overall thickness. It also has a high energy expenditure because so many muscles are involved at the same time. Studies have shown that it could potentially lead to a greater spike in testosterone, helping with body composition. So it can be a very good tool, but only if used with the right loading parameters. And it's better to use lighter weights with perfect form, maximizing tension. The deadlift of all the big lifts is the movement that needs the least amount of loading in a percentage of your 1RM to get maximum physical change. You can get great results from submaximum work at 75–80%, and you don't need to try to hit like a 3RM or a 2RM or much less a 1RM to get a positive body composition change. Not only that, maxing out on deadlift will really drain your nervous system, which can negatively affect the next 1 or 2 workouts, leading you to worse gains. So greater injury potential, greater energy drainage mentally, worse workouts. It's not a good investment as a coach. It's one I made often because, as I mentioned, the deadlift, you can actually get fake gains because you can keep moving weight just by compensation or sheer strength of will. Doesn't mean it's effective. There's a difference between moving more weight and loading the muscles more. That's what we should be looking for with a deadlift, maintaining perfect tension.